Welcome to Fixed and Folded, the knife review channel for the casual knife collector. I am Cody, and after a break, saved up some money and I got myself a new knife, and this is a Grail knife. This is one of those knives that I've been wanting for a few years now and put off buying because I like to hold knives with my bare hands, and this knife is one designed to be held with gloves. This is the SOG Seal XR. This is a large or extra large size folding knife. I'll show you some size comparisons in a minute. Why I ended up getting this is because over the years I've been wrecking a bunch of my own knives, customizing them, making them more comfortable, oftentimes making them unsellable in the process, but after many failures and destructions, I've gotten good enough at customizing knives that I figured I'd give this one a go, and I've had some success making this comfortable for my hand. I'll quickly just say what I did to it. I kept the profile of the jimping all along the top, all along the bottom, but I took a Dremel sanding tool and dremeled much of the height off of the jimping on the handle off and rounded it, doing 45-degree angles inside and outside, leveling off much of the height. And I did that also with the finger area, and then took various grits of sandpaper, foam blocks, and went at it, and the whole thing took about half an hour, and I'm happy with the result. Here's my bare hand. There, you notice there's no sore spots on here, and that feels comfortable. When I got it first from the store, the jimping was more pronounced, and it had a darkened paint on it that you'll notice when you buy it. And no, not comfortable on the hand. Really aggressive jimping, meant apparently for use by military personnel wearing gloves. So if you're planning to use this exclusively wearing gloves, go ahead and leave a stock. But if you like me and you like using this around the house to break down boxes and have for a zombie breakout where you might have to leave your house quickly and not bring gloves with you, then feel free to attempt what I did successfully with a Dremel tool and sandpaper. And now it is comfortable in the hand and still secure and steady with enough jimping left over that it still provides that extra bit of traction on top of the shaped finger grooved handle, which also is going to naturally provide grip. I didn't do anything to the jimping on the blade, and the blade also includes the flipper tab here that is aggressively jimped, but you don't hold that. You just quickly use it, and it's no problem. No problem to use with bare hands. It's just when you're gripping down on this, hot spots in the bare hand, this hurt. This whole, mostly up here and down here too, hurt the fingers. Okay, let's review this guy. This one is S35VN steel. You've got a stonewash finish on this saber ground blade. This is definitely a plastic material. Was surprisingly soft for dremeling. I've had other ABS style plastics that have been much more resistant to the Dremel, so this is on the soft side of a plastic. I'm sure it's going to be perfectly fine and durable for field use, but if you're dremeling it, just be careful. This will knock down quickly. Feel in the hand is, in terms of the design, the shape of the handle and the size is great. I have extra large hands, and with the shaped finger areas here and just an overall rounded off handle, ergonomic handle, and the way that the pocket clip sits is excellent. Excellent ergonomics for the shape. You've got your awesome sort of K-bar reminiscent style blade shape. thick, this is a thick spine, doing a taper pretty much halfway on. As soon as the jimping ends, the taper begins to a relatively fine point, considering this is just like a, straddles being like a really rugged survival slash combat knife. A good balance of ruggedness and slicing capability. I'd say, is this really well rounded? I'd say this is leaning more towards durability over slicing capability, but it does manage to still be good at slicing and piercing. Out of the box, this nice acute secondary bevel or relief edge will cut receipt paper easily, and this pierces easily through cardboard and whatnot. So the blade design is well balanced at being multi-use. And S35VN with this thickness of a spine, this is great for durability too. You could pry with this probably, except that it's not a fixed blade, and you don't ever want to pry with the knife unless it's an emergency, right? You use a pry bar, right? But this is thick enough that you could do definitely you can use this for heavy duty work. Is this going to baton? Yeah, this will baton. You've got a flat edge here for wood for doing survival tasks. This one comes with an olive drab color handle here. I think it's attractive, subjective, right? And then this is a black pocket clip, and then the actual jimping on the top is also this coated color, dark gray color when you get it from the store. It looks cool. Action is fantastic. This uses a bar lock mechanism, and there's 3 methods of deployment. You've got your aggressively jimped finger switch that deploys easily, and you can just do bar lock. And then this one, it's not for thumb flicking. The detent is too stiff, so you got to two-hand this one. So if you want maybe one of the safest ways to open it, just break the strong detent with your second hand, and you can open it that way. You have a great space for jimping here if you want to choke up, and this is big enough to throw your finger on safely and do some fine detail work if you're working with making a snare trap for catch some bunnies or something. Draw cutting also, great position for doing draw cuts. This provides a nice area if you're doing piercing tasks to prevent your hand from slipping forward, as well as these just finger groove areas. Keep your hand in that position. And the jimping, even if you Dremel most of it away and sand it off, does provide extra traction as well. And you also get a pattern. It's a checkered pattern. Think of like a 1911 original what does they call that? A M1 1911 from World War II with a checkered grip, wood handles or whatever. This feels just like that. And this does provide some traction. You've got is this a pommel for smashing? It's just a solid pommel. Is it wedge shape? Yeah, you got a bit of, it's not acute, it's obtuse angle here for durability. So what would this be for? Probably good for breaking nuts, cracking walnuts and stuff, skulls, I guess. But it's not flat on the top. It's about like this. So it's got a bit of a wedge to it, and crushing things. You've got a beefy lanyard hole running through the bottom of the pocket clip. Pocket clip it works well. I'll demonstrate here. So I'm not sponsored by 511 pants, but I do exclusively wear 511 pants. And they have these front 5.5 inch deep pockets. Knife slides giving it enough that it's completely hidden here, and if you use the pocket clip, it is not a deep carry, but this is for tactical ease of deployment. So you can grab onto it easily, pull it out. The weight on this is medium. For a knife this size, a large, chunky, durable knife, this is medium. The handle scales on the inside are partially skeletonized, about here down and about the width of the pocket clip. They are hollowed out. This will reduce a little bit of weight. This will reduce a little bit of weight. This inside will reduce a little bit of weight, and the plastic handle. So the balance is really nice. Let's see here. Right in the middle of that first main finger groove is the balance. So it's pretty central balance. So if you're having a cheese cutting competition for world record speed, then you're going to have nice control using this thing. Design, I just freaking love the look of this. It's super tactical. I love the feel of it now. I love the blade steel. S35VN is one of the very best all-around blade steels. Stainless, tough, takes an edge, holds an edge. This was $300 Canadian at Blades, no, not Blades Canada. I got this from House of Knives in Market Mall, Calgary. Is this worth $300? Yes, for me, Canadian, because of the blade steel, the balance of the design, of durability, but also good slicing and piercing capability. Multi-use potential for this as a survival, combat, heavy-duty knife. You can break down furniture boxes with this easily, you know. Get a microwave or a TV and, you know, want to cut it into smaller pieces so you can recycle it, then this is going to be a good knife for you. If you have extra large hands, I think if you have large to double extra large hands, this is going to fit you nicely. But if you're going to be wearing gloves, you don't want to go bigger than extra large hands, because these, you can see where my hand fits. I have extra large hands. If I wear gloves, this is going to fill up this space. So my best friend has double XL hands, and him with gloves, he's going to have to go with something like one of those cold steel monsters, like a Luzon or something that's just ginormous. But most people don't have double XL hands. But for the people that do, this might be too small for you if you're wearing gloves with this. I'll do some quick size comparisons. So I have, this is my medium size knife, Benchmade bug out. I call it a medium size knife because I can fit all my fingers on the handle, get a good grip. Large knife is the CJRB Pyrite Large. There's some extra room for me here. Extra large, this is a bit of a size up, is the Civivi Vexillion. And this is, now we're getting into the size category of the SOG XR. And this is kind of similar in silhouette, but this is not as, it's on the durable side in terms of blade thickness, handle thickness, size in general, but this blade steel is not as durable as S35VN, and it's a liner lock, which is not as durable as a bar lock, and it's just made more this is leans more towards camping, medium duty, even though it looks, you could in a pinch use this for heavy duty stuff. And this does have a hollow grind, which is excels at slicing, but it's not as this is on the tanky side, and yet still has good cutting and piercing. So you can see here, this is we're looking at XL size knife territory. Compare with the medium and the Pyrite L. So, who should get this knife? People that have 300 bucks Canadian, people that want a knife, a grail. This is like a super famous knife. Like this is super in demand, like a Benchmade Crooked River or Spyderco Manix 2 or PM2. This is a knife that everybody should handle and discover why it's so freaking cool. It's an excellently deployed design. Like the action is fantastic. Feel in hand is very secure, solid. The blade came perfectly centered. The blade came perfectly centered out of the box. So who should buy this? If you have to like the looks of this, if you like S35VN, I think almost everybody who is a knife person likes S35VN. I guess it might not be as easy. It's not as easy to sharpen as something like a Sandvik or a Nitro V, but you can sharpen it. I guess if your if this can fit in your pocket or your bag or your backpack, because it's an extra large size knife. There's probably some regions in the United States that don't allow a knife that is this long. I'm gonna guess this is almost a 4-inch blade. I'm gonna measure it now. I'm gonna say 3.75 inches. I'm gonna measure it. Blade length, cutting edge, it's about 3.75 inches. So, don't pull this out in a shopping mall to cut tags off of the shoes. This looks freaking scary for most people that aren't knife people. This looks like a badass, someone's gonna rob you weapon if you're not a knife person and you don't know that this is actually like a nice survival tool. But use this camping, use this around the house, right? Put it in your collection to admire the design of it. What grade do I give it? I'm gonna give this an A, not an A+, because the plastic was surprisingly soft. It's hard to see how that would fail in the field, but potentially if you smash it really hard on something, it's possible that it just could possibly crack. And I think even a soldier at times, if you're using this with gloves, might be some times where you use this without gloves, right? And then you're using this without gloves, not comfortable. This is hot spot. You will get red spots, sore spots on your hands, and you don't want that. But if you take the time to knock this down, it is doable. If you have the patience and the experience, then this can become comfortable in a bare hand. So not an A+, giving this an A. Okay, that's my review of this Grail knife, SOG Seal XR folding knife. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time I buy another knife or get some more knives from my friend that I haven't reviewed yet. Okay, you have a great night.